let's recap. For a while I built this little slat divider so I could separate the bedroom from the office. I also decided to add a barn door, sliding door across. Now, at some point I decided, because it still didn't feel closed up, those slats technically would be a wall. And then of course the door. So I decided to put some type of plexiglass in between. Now I'm still trying to work that area out, because what happens is when I pull it back, it slides, so it's not staying in place. Everything is leveled. I don't understand why, so I ended up getting 2 more, and it's fine. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I decided to get some plexiglass to put in front of those slats so it can feel more, closed up, but yet allow me to be able to see through. Now, looking at it from the side, there's a few things that I noticed that I need to do to this, as well as, put the plexiglass up, or the acrylic plexiglass, yeah, whatever. But it falls short at the top and bottom, so what I'm going to have to do is put a header board at the bottom of this slats and at the top, so that the plexiglass can be screwed onto that. So I'm trying to figure out, I want to put it all the way up to the top here by mounting. First I have to use these special step down drill bits to drill a couple of holes. Do I want to drill holes in it for each one of these and then screw it in that way? Or do I want to put another header board right above here and use that and screw it into that? That way I don't have to, do all these slats individual and put another board at the bottom, because it's enough room. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I still haven't attached a handle to that door yet. Anyway, yeah, see, I had considered, but I don't have that much room up here, and I didn't want the thing to crack, so I had to add the header board, because I didn't want to screw, because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 slats, and that would have been 11 holes. I'm not doing that. That's why they have header boards. Now, yeah, I'm going to be taking away from up here. I don't care. But the pieces go in here and the pieces go at the bottom, and I'm screwing the plexiglass to it, and it's going to be like art, like a framed art. So the holes, I have maybe 3 holes at the top and 3 at the bottom, attached to the header boards that I'm going to put there. This damn thing. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's going to be attached like acrylic wall art, basically. So I'm giving it that Soho lofty look. Yeah, so hopefully it turns out okay. Because I sure would hate to mess up my plexiglass. This thing wasn't cheap. First, let me apologize about the lighting. That's the reason why I want to put this see-through situation up, because the only light that comes into this bedroom is from those windows back there in the back. Now, as you can see, I'm getting ready to install the header board, which will make it a whole lot easier to hang that plexiglass. At some point I had considered, just closing that area up, but then it would give me limited, lights. So I said, no, this is something different, a different design, a different look, and I kind of like it. Because before I purchased this house, evidently this was a sliding door out into the backyard, a patio door. And they took it out and they decided to convert that convert that patio into a room, which worked out perfect for me because it's now my home office. Now see, as you can see, I put the header board up. Make sure it's in there good. I went to Home Depot and purchased the wood, cut it down the sides, painted black. Took it out in the back and spray painted black. No, actually I rolled it black. And that is going to serve as my support for that plexiglass. Now I could have installed one in the middle and then the bottom 3 pieces, but no, I didn't want to take away from it. Now once I get that bottom header board or footer board on, the hard part comes. Is that plexiglass. It's leaning up there, that's why it looks so smoky right now. Thing is, I'm going to have to take it in the living room, lay it down on the floor, set up the proper drill bits, put holes into it, peel that plastic off of it, and let me tell you, I'm so impatient. When I want something done, I want it done, and I don't wait for anybody to come and help me. I could have waited for him to come home, but no, I decided I'm going to do it myself. Thank goodness I didn't ruin it, because I would have no one to blame but myself. Alright, the header board is installed and the footer board is installed. Now comes the difficult part. There it is. I got to take this thing, like I said, in the living room, lay it down, try not to drill into my floor. I have leaned the plexiglass against the board for now. Of course it's going to come up higher, but I was trying to mark off where I'm going to drill the holes, and then they have to line up here because when I put it, hang it up on the step-offs, it should fit in perfectly. And I'm going to have to line whatever hole I make up here, it needs to be even down there. And then once it's hung up, then I'll peel the plastic off, and it'll be a plexiglass acrylic wall where the slats won't be open. Basically, it'll be a shield over the slats. Here I have taken it into the living room, laid it out on a sheet on the floor, and put a piece of wood at the top so that I can drill the plexiglass and not drill through my wood floor. And of course I have to do the same thing at the bottom. Now up here, there's a few scratches up here. I couldn't worry about that. The plexiglass is up, and I use those step-offs to keep it up there. So it looks a little rough, but I can't worry about that. The only person that really is going to notice it is me, and well, you, because I'm showing it to you right now. But the main thing, I got it up there. I didn't tear up my plexiglass. Yeah, I could probably take it off, risk destroying it by taking it off and touch up those little areas. But it's not that noticeable unless you're right up on top of it, you know. So main thing, I got it up there so that area is closed off. You cannot stick your hand through there. It's almost like a wall, closed off, but yet you still have the light coming in. I still haven't patched up those holes, which I'm going to get around to it. But here, I decided I was getting kind of tired of this being open, and I kept studying and trying to figure out what I could do with this area here, because you know, anytime you have a sliding door, when you slide it back, there's a wall. Okay, so originally I did this idea here with the slat wall first. Then later on, still thinking, I decided to add a sliding door over it. Because you can tell by the opening, there used to be a patio door, slider door there. However, I kept thinking of a way. I don't want to close it up. And then I thought about, how can I close it up? Because like I had mentioned before, if this is your first time, the only light from this bedroom into this bedroom comes from those windows out there. So, alright, I came up with this idea. I ended up going to Home Depot after doing my research and looked for some acrylic. Here's the acrylic. Now you can see it's closed up. I don't have to stick my hand through there anymore. I don't have to. Anyway, as I was trying to say, you can't stick your hand through there. So it's basically, this is my wall without actually putting a wall up or putting a drywall or closing my design up. So that's what I did over the weekend. I also, here, I got these step-offs, they call them, that you usually, now all these holes here, it's nothing I can do about that, and I'm not about to take it off. Maybe one day I'll get brave, unscrew it, pull this back, and patch up those holes. But that was me trying to guess. I did this by myself now, and trying to guess the right height, so I kept nailing into it, and that's why you see a zillion holes. But nobody paying attention but me. Anyway, I decided to do it this way. Originally, I was going to do it the other way, where the acrylic, just like art. But once I started to say, I'm just going to screw it, because it became difficult to me. So what I did, I just screwed it on. And then I realized, oh, I can go ahead and just take the screws out, put these in front of it, then put these little caps. Let me screw one off and show you what I mean. I'm going to take that off. And see, so I just screwed it on that way. Then I just put this in front of it. And it gives it that industrial art look, or picture frame look. Acrylic art look is what I'm trying to say. And I chose black. I mean, I could have gone with stainless steel color or gold, but I just kept it black, consistent. So now this is closed off. I still have to touch up paint down here. I have a lot of touch up work to do, as well as over here. I still haven't put the handle on yet. So it's still a work in process and taking my time. I need to touch up the wall up there. I'm thinking about painting this accent wall again, painting the room, giving the room another fresh coat of white paint. I'm always doing something. Anyhow, and this right here, that's my door stopper. I have to fix that as well, because what happens is when I take that out, the door slides back automatically. It doesn't stay open like it used to. So that's another thing I have to fix. But for the most, yeah, now this is closed up. I still have my wall, so I can feel now when I close the door, everything is closed off to that room. Today I am going to do some more to this door. Originally I had painted half of the door side black, adding some separation. But now that I have all this other stuff up, I'm just going to paint the whole trim all the way around black. gonna let that dry for a little while. Then I'm gonna come back and do a second coat. I like it already. It doesn't look as confusing now. All right. Along here, I close up the gap here, all the way down by adding this piece of board here. I have 3 tracks down at the bottom. I put the handle on. The door now closes and stays closed. You can see the step-offs here. And then, of course, I painted it all the way around. So the only other thing I might possibly do, maybe, or just leave well enough alone, is to put a piece of something right here to block this edge. Or maybe not. But other than that, it's closed off. The step-ups, as I said, the step-ups are holding the plexiglass onto the wood. And if I had planned this out properly, this was just me trying to put some slats here originally. Then it evolved. I would have started out at the edge here, which would have brought the wall out further to be even with this wall here. But hey, live and you learn. I mean, it's not something that cannot be fixed. I mean, if I really wanted to do something about it, but I'm not really concerned about it at this point. I could start another along here, bring it out further and make it flushed here, because right now I could do this. Okay, but if the wall had come out here, come out to here, you wouldn't be able to do that, if that makes sense, because you can see a little opening there. But it's okay. It's done.